Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dhamma of Peace series number 50. Belonging to a wholesome association. An association or a society in which everyone does wholesome things. Wholesome thing, kusala actions. Together, every members pull the weights and do it happily together. And that association is called Tahiya Punyakari, Pali word. Tahiya Punyakari. Similarly, another association name called the Sangika Upasaka Upasaki Association is where one always seeks and does wholesome actions, Dana, Sila, and Bhavana. So basically these are two names, and both all the members pull together and work for the benefits of others and do all wholesome actions. Just a Pali name. From that Pali name, we are giving a talk. As a member of these associations, one refrains from engaging in unwholesome actions that would disgrace the association. They belong to a society and they would really try very hard to uphold the name, not to smear the name, not to have a dark spot on the name. So they refrain from engaging anything unwholesome, evil, blamable, faultable things. Because they are ashamed and afraid of doing evil, and also afraid of the consequences of evil actions. Wholesome and faultless people enjoy having good thoughts, speech, and deeds. One should make it a habit to reflect repeatedly the wholesome activities done, because these people are always striving for the betterment of others. So they are doing many good things, activities. And here, one should make a habit to reflect, not just once, just twice, repeatedly on all the wholesome activities that they have done. Because this produces rapture, joy, happiness, and merit every time one reflects on them. Just think about it. Think about something that you really enjoy doing, something good that really helps one out of a tight spot. You feel good at that time. A week later, you think about it. And when you think about it, that happiness and joy comes right up again because it really touches you, that whole incident. And by doing this wholesome thing, you got merit, kusala karma. And by reflecting it, that merits arise again. So it never stops. That's why it is urged for one to reflect all the wholesome things that you have done again and again when time permits, because it just expands. It never decreases, it always increases. Thinking, talking, and doing faultless actions are the characteristics of wise and holy people. Wise and holy people in general are Ariya, noble person. So the characteristics of noble persons are what? They always have good thoughts, good speech, and doing good things, which are faultless and blameless. Whatever they do, you can't find a fault in their actions. You can't find anything to blame in their action. That's why it is the characteristics of the wise and holy people, noble person. On the contrary, evil people always harbor blameworthy thoughts. They're always thinking negative, destructive thoughts, and speak blameworthy words. Whatever come out of their mouth, blameworthy, quite disgusting, unbearable, and commit blameworthy deeds. Whatever they do is full of faults, and one can be blamed for injustice. That's why one must resolve to put effort into helping others in a problematic situation. Okay. Have a resolute mind. I'm going to put all my effort in helping others, whoever in a tight spot, whoever in a trouble, whoever is in danger. If it is under my nose, within my reach, I will help them and put all my effort in doing so. One must be resolute. And also must be resolute to constantly associate with the wise and holy people. Okay. Associate with noble persons. Of course, you don't know who the noble persons are. So to the best of your judgment, look for people that is worthy of paying respect, which will stand up to your scrutiny and observation. So that's the best you can do instead of the noble person. And they may be holy, noble person too, you don't know. Not only that, you associate with them, also learn from them, emulate them. And thirdly, one must be resolute to avoid meeting or talking with evil people, bad people. Don't associate with the bad people. I think you might remember the words the Buddha said. always avoid unmindful people and always associate with mindful people. The Buddha uses in that presentation with mindful and unmindful. Here, straight out, we are saying it. Avoid meeting and talking with evil people. Now, we'll give you a little story from the scriptures of the Buddha's time. In fact, it's happened right then and there in the domain where the Buddha was living. You know, there are Buddha, Arahants, and all the noble persons all gather, practice together. They go for alms round. So they have devotees. People come individually, some people as a group, as an association, as a society. They come and help clean the place, make sure everything is neat and tidy, offer food. Those are the things that an individual or a group of people or an association would be doing, and they did. And at one time, a senior member of a Wholesome association was dying. That's it, they have that, let's call it Sankika Upasaka Upasaki Association. And senior member, let's call it a chairman or president. He was getting old, ill, and was dying. So the members invited a monk, okay, or a group of monks to come to the deathbed of their president. Of course, as they are devotees, the monks are always so responsible, and it's their duty to go if they are invited, not uninvited, but invited. So, beside the deathbed, the monk sit down and recite a Satipatthana sutta, okay, because they would like the mind to be focused on something good and wholesome. And among all wholesome things, Satipatthana, the full foundation of mindfulness, is the supremely wholesome, the best, because it gives you, direct you, the way to escape from all form of suffering. So they were reciting it to get his attention to the sound and to the meaning of the sutta. And while they were reciting, this dying man said, "Stop!" He just cried, "Stop!" And all the monks stopped reciting the sutra. And the man said, No, not you. I'm not telling you to stop. A chariot from the Deva Ram is picking me up. And I told them to stop and wait till the sutta was finished." So that's what he said. Because while he was listening and reciting the sutta in his, as if in a real instance, not hallucination, not illusion, not delusion, like really appear. A chariot from Deva Ram came to pick him up, which means to take him to the Deva Ram. In other words, he will be reborn as a Deva. And he said, "No, I'm telling the charioteer to wait. Don't pick me up right now. Wait till the sutta is finished." So I will stop the story as that. Of course, the monks carry on reciting the sutta, and when it finished, the old man passed away. And of course, the story spread among the Sangha, because there's a lot of Sanghas in that area practicing under the guidance of the Buddha. They talk and they talk and they talk about this. Oh, did you hear that? Did you know that? And so on. So finally, from one to the other, it finally spread to the Buddha's ear. Buddha's heard about it. No. And Buddha didn't say anything. But the next day, not on the same day, the next day, because every day in the evening, the Buddhas, that all the monks gathered around, and then he will give a Dhamma talk. Like the way we are talking about topic, he will talk about appropriate topics based on the incident or situation or question arose. So everybody is gathered on the next day, and the Buddha said, just the gist of it, one who constantly does wholesome action, kusala karma, wholesome action. One who constantly does wholesome actions will always be happy, joyful, and have clarity in the mind, in the present, which means in this life in general, but clarity in mind at the moment and at the point of death. You won't be confused. You won't be thinking anything. Your mind is very clear. And also you will have a clarity of mind in the next life. So related to that story, that is what Buddha said. One who constantly does wholesome actions throughout his life. Not just one, not just twice. As a habit. Will always be happy, joyful, and have clarity of mind in present life. Specifically, it means at the point of death. The mind at the point of death is very clear, not confused. And also in the next life, the mind will have a clarity and bright. So, something to think about. This little story, I inserted here. And based on that chariot from Devaram picking up, I'll explain what it is said in the Abhidhamma. Okay. Abhidhamma lists 3 signs that appears vividly near death. In other words, death consciousness. Just before death consciousness, there will be a lot kind of thoughts and signs and so on and so forth can arise, or will arise, not can arise. And it was very vivid. And 3 signs, so one is called karma sign. Karma sign is a person who always plans, talks, and does evil things will definitely reflect on the unwholesome actions, which creates a lot of misery and suffering. That's all that one will be thinking, because his whole life he's doing nasty, criminal, hurtful, harmful things, and he will think about these things. And with that thought, in deathbed, one will be reborn in the 4 woeful states. Depending on the actions, it could be in hell, or it could be in animal realms, it could be in hungry ghost realm, or it could be in demonic realm. Definitely, that is based on your karmic actions. And the other side is the one who is constantly engaging in wholesome activities throughout life will reflect wholesome actions, because that's all that he is doing, so he will think about the same thing what he does. And when he reflects on the wholesome action, there will be a joy and there will be happiness, joy and happiness. And with joy and happiness you die, it will lead, the rebirth will be leading to the human realm or Deva realm. And that karmic action is presented at the mind, or in the mind. These things appears. Not like a little thing, it's very vivid, as if it is happening at that moment. That kind of vividity one will see. That's called karma sign. The second one is called karma namitta. Karma namitta. Sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, or ideas. Okay. Of the action one has done during a lifetime is presented at that moment. Let's say if it is a sight, it'll be a gun. You will see a gun, big gun that you used to kill. You will see a gun for a killer. Or you will see a firing of a gun, a sound. Or you will smell the smoke right after the gunshot, smell, and so on. That will be the sight, a sound, someone who has done unwholesome actions throughout the lifetime. And let's say your whole life, okay, you're working 30, 40 years as a nurse. And at that time, near deathbed, one might see a patient that you helped, recovering and feeling happy, that person. You will see that sight vividly, as if you are helping the patient just beside the bed, as if it is happening right now. And then it pass away. With those kind of thoughts, it's a happy thoughts. And happy thoughts will lead you to the human realm or Deva realm. And let's say devotees, you are very devoted to Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. For devotees, you might be seeing the flowers offering to the Buddha, or the water, or food, lunch, or candles, something you will see that you devotedly offer to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. You will see that with that thoughts, one will pass away. And such kind of karma namitta means signs, appears at the six sense doors. In your sight, as a sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, or even a thought. That's called second sight, karma namitta. And third one is called gati namitta. Gati. Gati namitta is sign of a place where rebirth will be taken place. Okay. You just foresee some sort of a sign of a place that you'll be reborn. If you are going to be in, if one is going to be in hell, you will see a hellfire. Or one is going to be let's say some sort of a lower level beings that lives in the tree, or I might see a big tree or a forest or the mountains, Or if one's going to be reborn in a human, it could be like you are in a mother's womb or celestial mansion. Okay, that's what that the gentleman from the society, you see a chariot from Deva Ram. Those are the signs. Those signs give you the direction where you will be reborn, or sight, sound, or place. And these are actually in a sight, okay? As it is happening, like the real chariot is right there. Physically, you can feel, see, taste, and touch, that kind of a thing. Physical sight, at your mind door, it will appear. So, 3 kinds of signs appears before one die. One is based on your actions, karma. Another one is as a sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. Again, based on what you do, mostly in your life. And the third one is Gati, the sign of a place where you will be reborn. So, be an outstanding member of a wholesome society. Okay. Join a wholesome society. Be an outstanding member of the wholesome society and strive your best for the benefits of others and oneself. Always, all the time, on the way to Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much.